I'll take you through quickly about Phoenicia. I'm sure that you all know Phoenicia. It's the brand name in the market. I mean, everyone knows what's Phoenicia, what do they offer Phoenicia. And the moment we say a luxury hotel, in your mind, it's automatically the brand which is Phoenicia. I'm going to share with you a quick video about Phoenicia, and then we'll move further from that perspective. So just to make sure.
في قصة حلوة جوات هذا الكتاب. قصة عمرها بحدود 50 سنة. قصة عالم حبوا مدينة صغيرة، لنا باريس ولنا روما. مدينة أحلى من أجمل مرة. مدينة غرقت وقامت 7 مرات. بحد البحر في مطرح كان كله موسيقى. فوق الموسيقى كان في صوت قواص. بس كان كل ما يعلى صوت القواص عطول تعلى الموسيقى أكتر. بقوض هيدا المطرح في عالم تعرفوا على رفقة العمر وغيرهم تلاقوا بحب الصيفية. في منهم شافوا حب حياتهم بالأبيض عبوابه وغيرهم استقبلوا السنة الجديدة هن ولابسين أحلى تياب عندهم. هالمطرح كل عمره مليان قصص، مليان ذكريات. مطرح فيك تتلاقى فيه عالترويقة بكاترين دونوف ياما ناس قاطع من حد ومعلم براندو باللوبي بس ما سلم لأنه كان راح يحضر جاك بريل. وعندي دليل أنه لما إجا عمر وفات ناموا فردوته. وبريجيت باردو بريجيت باردو. وبتعرف شو في أحلى من فيروز؟ تكون فيروز وأم كلثوم وعاصد فرد سهرة. ياما دوكوا ورقصوا ودقوا موسيقى وعملوا سحر بمطرح كله سحر. لما العالم تعرف على جورجينا رزق كله بلش من هون. بقدام هيدا المطرح تبدلت الموضة من لما راح بالتليفون لحد ما رجع درج. من أيام الريش للورود بالشعر. وكم فيلم ما كان يكتمل إلا بمشاهد قدامه. يمكن هيدي منا بس قصة اوتيل ببيروت. في شي أكتر من هيك بين هالمطرح والعالم اللي كانوا فيه. هيدي قصة حب صار عمرها فوق 50 سنة وبعدها بأولها.
That's a quick brief on who's Phoenicia and whom we are and what we do in the market. However, now I'm going to speak more about Intercontinental. Good, so let's speak more about Yes, perfect. So let's speak more about Intercontinental Hotels Group and who is that big chain of hotels that's available all over the world. Yes, we are a company that offer a world of endless opportunities all over the globe. We're not only speaking about basically Lebanon and Beirut, but we're speaking about the whole globe in terms of working opportunities. So quickly, we're going to speak about Intercontinental for you to know more about our brands and whom we are and what brands are available in the Lebanese market, and definitely discover more Phoenicia and LAU in terms of the properties and the facilities that we do offer. Yes, Intercontinental is the world's most global hotel company. Okay, I mean, wherever you go in the world, you would find an Intercontinental. One of the biggest mistakes that most of the people, they think that Intercontinental is the only brand that relates to the whole hotel industry. No, but in the Intercontinental, you have so many other brands that are under that big umbrella, which is called IHG. The headquarters is in the UK. We operate in nearly 100 countries and territories all over the world. We own hotels, we manage hotels, we lease and franchise hotels. Just to tell you, we have more than 5,272 hotels all over the world, which is really a big number all over. Yes, 785,000 guest rooms, more than 161 million guests a year. Okay, I don't know. That's a huge number that not all other properties and brands are capable of attracting. We are listed in the UK and New York Stock Exchange market, and that's part also what makes the company strong all over. Now, just asking some of the students, what other brands do you know for IHG? Whenever we say IHG. Staybridge. Crown Plaza. That's it? Holiday Inn. So Zar, yeah, it's part of Intercontinental brand name. Indigo.
Holiday Inn Express.
Holiday Inn Express. It seems you tried it, George, before. So speaking about our brands, definitely we have a big umbrella, and under that big umbrella we have so many brands, okay? And speaking about these brands, these are the most known one. Definitely Intercontinental is on the upper scale of the brands that we have. Kimpton is a new brand that has been recently launched, and basically it's launched in the US market. Indigo, that's also the new trendy part of the hotel. So if you look at the brand itself, the characteristic, it's not really the Intercontinental part, it's the luxury, but the modern luxury, okay, of nowadays. Even Hotel, basically it's a new brand that has been launched 3 years ago. And Even Hotel's focus is more on the greenery part, okay? It's the green hotel concept, ecosystem, where clients might need to go and climb the stairs for them to go to their rooms. You have a treadmill in the room, so it's the whole concept of you becoming much more healthier and a lifestyle of a different perspective. Hualux, which is also another brand specifically in China, that's not yet in the Middle East and in Europe. Crown Plaza, which is the business concept, where you would have all clients coming specifically for meeting, conferences, or what we call the MICE business. Holiday Inn, the fastest growing brand all over the world. I don't know if you know, however, every 3 days we have one Holiday Inn branch that's opening all over the globe. Okay? Can you imagine? Every 3 days you have one Holiday Inn branch that's opening. Only in the States, you have 1,700 Holiday Inns, only in one part, which is the States. Imagine 1,700 hotels. Holiday Inn Express, also this is another brand that has been launched in the US, and basically the target market or the clientele are the people who are on trips over roads. Then we have the Holiday Inn Club, which is a little bit for the vacation club concepts. We have the Holiday Inn Resort, which is only for resort vacation. Staybridge, yes, it's the long stay concept. It's a home away from home concept. And the last one is Candlewood Suites. That's also part of the suites issue. So if you see, we have 12 brands that are already in the market available. Now we're going to speak more about the brands that are available within the Lebanese market, but also to let you know that recently, I mean, 3 weeks ago, a new brand has been added into the umbrella and the portfolio of IHG, which is Avid Hotel. It will be launched in early 2019 with nearly 150 properties in the pipeline. So the growth path line of this brand is going to be fast for it to be available, and it's targeting the mid-scale market. So we're not speaking about Intercontinental in terms of service and brand understanding, but it's more about the mid-scale market that people might go and work for. Also about Lebanon, what brands do you know? Phoenicia. Vendôme. Crown Plaza. Staybridge. And basically Mzar. So yes, these are the 5 hotel brands that we have in the Lebanese market, which are the Vendôme, Phoenicia. You manage someone else's hotel under their own standards. So basically it's an agreement between 2 parties, an owner and an operator, correct? The owner is the person who holds the money, who makes the investment, and the operator is going to be the company, which in our case is Intercontinental Hotels Group. So mainly Intercontinental is the one responsible for the day-to-day operation on the floor, looking at standards, ways of working, applying what they strive to, and the owner is looking for the financial perspective, and definitely there are some crucial decisions where the owners might have to interfere on that perspective. Speaking more about Phoenicia, that's our known lobby. And moving forward, this is a hotel that has been launched in 1961 by Mr. Najib Salha. Just to tell you that Phoenicia was the first hotel to open in the Middle East as Intercontinental. So the first hotel to open in the Middle East as a brand Intercontinental was Phoenicia in 1961. Definitely after the war, during the war, the hotel had to be closed to reopen in 2000 after the full renovation of the property. We have 3 towers, which is a Phoenician Roman and Phoenician residence, with a total of almost 446 guest rooms. So in terms of capacity, also the hotel has the biggest capacity in town. I'm sure that you have visited some of our outlets in the hotel. Speaking, we have Amethyst, which is the pool side of the hotel, where it's a chill lounge during night and morning time. We have so many people who use it during summertime. However, it's still open during the winter time nowadays. We have Mosaic. Who doesn't know Mosaic? I mean, it's a signature for everyone for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, the moment we say Mosaic, automatically you have in your mind food everywhere, and not really any type of food, but really high gastronomic type of food that's there. And that's why we have recruited the best known chef to be part of our team, because they will add a lot to the quality of the production that you are having. Eau de Vie, also fine dining restaurant. Just to tell you guys, we have almost 800 employees who work on fixed time, fixed contracts, which mean they are working on full-time basis, and we have more than 250 people who work on extra basis, or casual basis, which makes the total headcount up to 1,000 employees in terms of human capital. Yes, we are the first hotel to open in the Middle East, as you have mentioned previously. We have people from all of these countries who work for us, and that's to speak about the cultural diversity that we have within our properties. So we have people, I mean, from Lebanon, India, Sri Lanka, Colombia, I mean, you name it, okay? And all of that is also part of the ISG values that's called Celebrate Difference. We are a company that are open and we give equal working opportunities for any person. The moment you have he's the coffee man in our hotel, and L'Am Nasib is now 86 years old and he still works with us. I mean, he became an icon, and you have so many people, once they visit Mosaic, they come to take just a picture with Am Nasib, because it reflects a lot of the Lebanese hospitality and the way we do welcome our client. And also by ISG, Am Nasib has been recognized as being the oldest employee with ISG. Now, speaking about growth and how people can grow, just to tell you, all of these names that are plotted on the screen were people who started at a very low level in the hotel, and now they are occupying leadership position. Just to tell you that, for example, our hotel manager was a trainee in the hotel. Okay, and that's an example. Our executive housekeeper was a housekeeping supervisor. So she graduated from school, she started as housekeeping supervisor, and now she's heading 100 employees as part of her role. Our revenue and yield manager is also an internal employee who used to be a receptionist. I mean, speaking about our financial controller, it's the same thing. Myself, just to tell you, I used to be a trainee in the kitchen, and then I moved to work at the front office, and then I moved to HR. So that's also the path and the growth that you can have within ISG. Also speaking about our VIP manager, also Anis used to be a concierge, and our director of engineering was a handyman. Just to tell you, a handyman is the person who go in the room and fixes, I don't know, doors, curtains, and then that's the path that he grew through. Now, just why we're speaking about that, because at Intercontinental we are a company that believes in people and in talent. The hotel also has been founded in 1964, and it's also acquired by the same company of Phoenicia, which is SGHL. Now, it's more of a boutique hotel, so we don't cater to huge groups and lots of people. However, the focus is on people who are looking for the fine level from a hotel to a hotel. That's the first one. I mean, I used to work for Crown Plaza, which is a sister hotel for Intercontinental, and that's how I moved in my career. You can move from one department to another, and that's something very easy. I mean, I used to work at the reception, then I moved to HR. You can move from one country to another, and that's our role as HR to support you in identifying a good opportunity in case you would like to pursue your career somewhere else or in any other part of the world. So yes, that's the word of opportunity with Intercontinental. And if interested, please visit our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or contact us by email. Any questions before I leave the floor to Ms. Dagmar? Any concerns, questions, Future Leaders Manager, which is called FLP. It's a Future Leaders Program. We do have people can apply either internally or externally. So you might be either an employee who is internally working for us or a fresh graduate who would like to join. And this is run, it's all over the Middle East, and usually it takes place once per year. It's a program of 2 years. During the first year, the students would go over the all departments, and then he would choose one department that's going to be his focus, and he will be going from there. And during that time, it's a paid work, it's a paid internship.
And students can apply online?
Yes, usually you can visit the Intercontinental, and you need to go to the Our People part. Okay, it's a section on the Intercontinental part where you can have access, and definitely we can share with Dr. Rania or Dr. Fadil at the moment we have the links, so people and students can apply automatically too. Any other questions? Good, so I'm going to leave the floor to Ms. Adnan.
Thank you, Hamad. Very stimulating to see. First of all, may I extend my sincere thanks to the management of your faculty and all those involved in giving us an opportunity to talk to you. The factual part is literally always with the team. I usually take more joy and fun out of explaining to you what can be done or cannot be done. You know, career is something extremely individual. Knowing that you have chosen already the best base for your future in joining this university. So I was asked to share a little bit my experience. I'm not sure if that could be called a success story. For me, it was just a career path that I took at a certain stage of my life to move ahead. In having a target, I think that is one very important base feature, that if you don't have a target, it's very hard to work towards something. And besides that, for us as an employer, we cannot even guide you in your career path if we don't know which way you turn. But I would like to really start at the base. You have seen one German flag on this matrix. And there's only one German in this hotel, that's me. I don't think, how many percentages do we have? Lebanese? I mean, the majority, it's 95% Lebanese employees at Phoenicia and Vendôme, and then we add, of course, in certain fields, some experts in housekeeping a lot, back of house, and then in a few management positions. But the few management positions does not mean that an expert is better than you guys. The advantage we very often have is a certain international exposure. And I think that is very important because Lebanon is not an island, Phoenicia is not an island, and we compete, at least in our industry, with the international market. And that is exactly, before I go into detail, how I built my career, my mission, and that's why I took the assignment. You have seen the initial video, and I'm truly proud of that video, not because I understood it, it's in Arabic, but I can see in the faces usually the outcome of this video. It has been done in-house. It has been done with Eli Farhad, who is an amazing photographer and video producer, together with our team. And yesterday we announced in the morning brief that we had 1 million viewers right now, and this is a video that has the potential to go viral. That shows you also, at the time when I spoke with the team about being a little bit more modern and how do you do that, the mission I was entrusted with Phoenicia is to bring it back to the golden age. Now that is something that the younger generation might not immediately grab. Some others who have a little bit experienced the past will understand. Phoenicia is an icon hotel, it's a landmark hotel, well beyond Lebanon. It was the first intercontinental hotel in '61 founded. And ever since, it's one of the key grand hotels in the Middle East, and it has the recognition as such. So having joined Phoenicia, we spoke about it, it's almost home terrain here, some also passed through Phoenicia. It's a true reference. This hotel is a huge reputation if it comes to the grand hospitality in the Middle East. So my mission now is to bring it back. And hospitality in my family was considered something you do vacation in, but you certainly don't work in. So I was by nature the black sheep in the family because for some reason I felt this is my métier. And when I asked my parents that I really would like to go into the hospitality industry, they allowed me at least to go to one very good school in Lausanne, the École Hôtelière de Lausanne, as my management base. From there, I evolved in my career path. I did everything. I think there is not one single department in a hotel where I did not pass through. I did stewarding, I cleaned rooms, I was at the front office, I did sales and marketing, I passed by the finance department, you name it. The only thing I really skipped until today is the kitchen. I'm incapable of cooking anything, so never come close to me. I burn water if needed. But having done that, I think is one of my truly important messages also to you. There is not such thing like a born manager. This is something you have to forget, in my humble opinion, immediately. You have to have some experience on the ground in order to later on manage those people to understand on a legitimate basis also what they went through. So I did that, and I always had the target. I wanted to be owner of a luxury boutique hotel as fast as possible. And until today, that dream did not yet materialize. I suspect it's for financial reasons, but everything else, at least, I made it. So I was working through my path until I had, at the age of 28, for the first time, the general manager title in a very lovely boutique hotel in southern France in Saint-Emilion, where I could for the first time take up the leading position. I moved from there to Paris in another luxury hotel with 60 rooms. Hotel Montalembert was the first design hotel at the time. And then I met my husband, who's South African, and I joined him in Johannesburg, because he was professionally based there, and I thought hospitality is an international field, let's join. And for security reasons, I just felt to found a family down there, this is not the best of all platforms, and I left back to where that's an amazing package. But in the first years, you might not be able to use anything of that, because reality kicks in. And something, I believe, unless I get a scream out of the first row now, universities and schools cannot prepare you for is the reality really on the ground in whatever company you start your career path with. Because that is so individual. You might have a boss who is a real, maybe you have somebody who loves you. But at the end of the day, it's a lucky stroke what's happening out there, and you have to adjust every single day to new circumstances. And I think life is truly a funny place, because there's too many influences. It needs so many ingredients to do the career path that sometimes you're on the more lucky side and sometimes maybe on the more unfortunate one. If you believe in yourself, and that is something I always did, and I truly hope for the team to judge that I did this always in a very humble way. I think attitude is the key ingredient for your future. If you go in with a big ego, somebody will break it at one stage, and that is not the best, I can tell you. Being humble, embracing people, fitting in, trying always to do everything to do in the right way. It's never the smartest, I believe, who's the leader. It's the person who did most of the things in the right way, at the right moment, to bring something ahead. And I think that was why the title General Manager was invented. I'm far too general to give you any specific insights of HR or kitchen, F&B, you name it. I'm the cheerleader of the crowd at the end of the day at this hotel. I know a little bit of everything, but my role is to combine it all, that we are all going in one direction. And of course, for that you need to have some knowledge, but we are living also in a world with far more specifications. When I went studying, it was much broader. We did not go into every single field. And even the hospitality industry is working far more with specialists rather than generalists in the future. And we see already now a shift in the market as well, in a salary scale, that specialists sometimes earn far more than general managers. There is a tendency out there. Now, if I have a true ego, I would say, well, I'm the leader. Who are you to get more? I couldn't care less. I love surrounding myself. If we talk cultural change, very often the teams are because I'm German. It has nothing to do with that. It's a business culture change. And no matter where you go on earth, there is a business culture for those who succeed in replying to emails, in dealing with people, in structural approaches. It has nothing to do with me, but for that you need to create a culture of honesty, of open exchange, of certainly hierarchy, but this hierarchical thing doesn't work anymore nowadays. And I know in the Middle East it's a very clear pyramid down approach, which we don't have. It applies in certain fields, I agree, and every once in a while, us too, we have to work like that. But we have, I believe, by now a very open door communication, very flat hierarchies, to be faster. And the winner in the market is fast. It's not somebody who needs 10 steps to do something. That means also to empower your team. The larger the structure is, the more I have to empower my team members. Because if the valet at the entrance, who's the first image of the hotel, and by the way, the last if you want a car back, he needs to be empowered. If he sees something is wrong, he needs to be already capable of offering you some kind of compensation, maybe the coffee in the lobby just because you are too slow. But if the guy or reception, if you need then to say, you know, I'm not sure, I need to ask my supervisor, and the supervisor has to ask the HOD, head of department, and that's not how you can run a place successfully. Because at the end, it's the quick response to the guest that makes the guest satisfaction. Every hotel has golden spoons on our level. It's not the golden spoon that differs, it's only the people who fill the place. And this is why I believe, yes, the team is the most important part. It's our human capital, it's the biggest asset. And whatever you achieve with the team, then everything else becomes the hardware. But the other way around, it will not work.
And we'd like to, anybody has a question to end? We will network at the end, but Dr. Eladia has the word to say.
I just wanted to thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing with us your personal journey. And I know you have inspired all of us, and especially for the ladies in the audience. You are a role model to all of us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
So